All right, so how you doing, brother? So the big news came in. Tom Thibodeau just got fired, man. It just so happened I took my son to the doctor, and the doctors came in for his shot. Okay, and I wanted, everybody was breaking it. Sometimes you got to be first, but whatever. Look, good news. Good news. And again, I'm not one to shit on Thibs or the job he did, but I think really the final straw. I think probably they did the exit interviews. They didn't like the energy. You've now at this point 3 years in a row have lost playoff series that you had the lead in. Or you had home court advantage. All right, thank you. All right. 3 years in a row, you've lost playoff series. You had the lead. You had home court advantage. And to me, as a Knicks fan that wants to win a championship, that's unacceptable. To me, that's clearly unacceptable. And that was the nail that broke the straw that broke the camel's back. Okay, so yeah, you had a clear cut indication that Knicks management probably wants to move forward with a more modern approach. Somebody that's going to develop the young talent. Look, Thibodeau wasn't a horrible coach. He did a good job. The turnaround, we wouldn't be where we at to where we can expect to win championships without. But that's the thing. We need to, a lot of people still doubt the Knicks. I got to hear Brandon Podziemski, the 7th best player on the Golden State Warriors. I'm not 100% sure he said that, but, I got to hear Brandon Podziemski say that the Knicks would have probably gotten swept. And again, we want to get to the level where, especially considering what we're spending for the team, that we can expect contention in championships. And we did contend. Without a doubt, we contended. But this is the 3rd year in a row that the Knicks have lost a series where they had home court advantage. They lost to the lowest seed. You raise the expectations, you gotta start exceeding them. You gotta start meeting them. The Knicks are not supposed to be a second-ranked franchise. The owner spends a lot of money for them to be a good franchise. So at that point, this is going to be an end of the short. And we'll get into the video a little bit later. It's the 24th version of Optimistic Knicks fan. And here we are. Now, the Knicks job should be a coveted job. What we do in the off season, we go after the best players and we go after the best coach. Again, my issue is the offense was antiquated and the defense was mediocre. So if that's the case, if you have an antiquated offense, a mediocre defense, yet you're still performing to a decent level, you still got to the Final Four in the conference final. See, the problem is, like I said, you could have been elite both ways. You should be elite both ways. Again, what the Knicks are defensively, mindset-wise, is not going to go away because we fired Thibs. We're not all of a sudden going to become a bad defensive team. Especially if you put the right personnel in there. The right coach can understand we got to play this amount of defense because everything that Thibs taught us defensively, we continue to do. And offensively, this is where we unlock. We take the ball out of Brunson's hands. We run a faster pace. We run more motion off the ball. Again, without me being a technical guy, I can see that's what's necessary. And it's time. It's just time to move on. Thibs had 5 good years. We've improved every year, but we've improved incrementally. OKC was further behind us 3 years ago. They're in the finals and now favorite, heavy favorite. That's where the Knicks need to be. You can't tell me that OKC did anything other than break it down and build it back up like we did. The problem is, again, they have a coach that gets the most out of their roster. We have a coach that holds players on the rosters back. Again, there were players that could have and that's the issue. You want to tell me these guys are not that good, or you want to tell me that Thibs didn't play them and they were better than that? I think it's the latter. They were better than expected because when they got out there, they made positive contributions. Again, you're talking about giving these guys 10, 12 minutes. I mean, Bridges going the way he did. You know, I was kind of scared that Brunson's father. Look, Brunson's father might be a candidate. His father's going nowhere. The new coach is not going to get rid of the whole coaching staff. I have theories on who I think is dead weight in the coaching staff. But Brunson's father's in there. Brunson's father's in there like swimwear. Probably will maintain the top assistant position, and then we go forward. But at the end of the day, this move needs to be made. You know, we need to clean house in the coaching box. You know, we need to keep. You know, it's 3 years in a row. 2 years you got out. And again, these are championship coaches that beat them. This is Thibs plateau. The conference finals is unfortunate. And yeah, to the right. This is Thibs plateau. The conference finals. He's not going to get any better. He's not. I mean, you know, that's it. Second round playoff. He's basically a playoff to conference final. That's just me. You know, unless he has a lot of injuries on his team, that's as far as he's going to get a team. His floor is the first round playoffs with an also ran roster. He's the guy that can turn things around. He can turn your culture around. This point is 67, like I said. Go back and coach high school, because my theory is I didn't think they had great energy, and when they asked him, are you willing to? They probably asked him, are you willing to use some suggestions? Are you willing to hire, are you willing to be kind of? I can't even speculate. I think they realize that this guy is antiquated. I think they realize this guy's not going to change his ways. And again, they're not bad ways. He's a good structured coach. Maybe at this point, he's just a good assistant or a good college coach. I think he would do great in college. If he wants to coach to his 70s, and again, I think that's the other thing. He's 67 years old. Maybe he's not on the program to do anything drastically different. And that's fine. It's time to get new blood. It's time to get a new coach that knows a little bit more. That knows a little bit more about the current NBA, current roster. Current rotation style, stuff like that. The guy that feeds into the analytics a little bit, not too much. We don't need a Missoula, but we need a guy that does a little bit more than what Thibs does. So I'm gonna drop it here again. I just got the news coming home from my son's doctor appointment, and we'll be all right. Peace.